Hello, and welcome to episode 18 of Cast of Strong Style. I'm your host, Don Delarente, and I'm joined by my special co host, sitting in once again, Anwar Starling. What's going on, Anwar?
What's up, y'all? I guess I'm Angel and Buffy, where he was a special guest.
Exactly. Thank you for joining me again for this episode. Cast of
No
Strong
problem.
Style. Oh, no problem. Cast of Strong Style can be found on CSPN at cspn.us. You can also find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. You can follow the Twitter account at Cast Strong Style on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at Don Delarente, and you can follow Anwar on Twitter at Anwar Starwin. So Anwar, we've got Road to Duntaku, Wrestling Duntaku, and the best of the Super Juniors to cover on this episode, along with a preview of Dominion. So we've got a pretty packed episode. So we'll get right into it as we had an IWGP Junior Tag Team title match on the Road to Wrestling Dentaku between the champions, Kanemaru and Desperado versus Bushi and Takahashi. The challengers double team Desperado, but Bushi hits a dive, and the dynamite plunge by Takahashi gets a 2 on Desperado. Takahashi hits the Blu-ray, but Desperado uses the ref to escape the time bomb. We get a ref bump, a belt shot by Desperado to Takahashi, followed by the Pinche Loco, and the champions retain their titles. This was a fun match. I love Bushi and Takahashi as a tag team, the junior tag team for LIJ. Takahashi's just in another zone, and Bushi is, the calming force of those two. And El Despi's getting better. He's growing on me.
Despy, if you really chart Despy's really improving, like where he was at Best of Super Juniors 24. Like I would notice him and enjoy some of the stuff he would do in tag team matches, and I thought he was solid, but that's when I was like, okay, this guy got more to give like the whole like that whole division in either singles or tag team. So Despy's that dude. And Hiromu and Bushi are a really good team. Like LIJ, they can do so many different like combination team wise, and they all have these they're actually like a real tag team where they have all these combination moves. It's just yeah, I really love that faction. That's one of my favorite factions. Like it is my favorite faction right now.
Yeah, man.
That tag match.
I've been a big fan of LIJ since probably the end of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got into it and was like, yo, all of these guys are really good, especially like when, they started pushing Sonata.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
man, yeah, I can get with these guys. So we had another Road to the Otaku event, and this time, this one featured an IWGP United States title match between Jay White and David Finlay. Finlay fires up, but runs into a huge lariat. Finlay manages to counter the Blade Runner into a backdrop driver. The last shot gets 2 count. Jay White counters the stunner into the Blade Runner, and Jay White gets the win. Jay White admits that he was surprised by Finlay and that Finlay belongs in the main event, but he doesn't belong in the ring with him. 10-1, Finlay. Get that piece of shit out of the ring, White says. Jay White says that he's the future of chaos and he will be watching Okada versus Takahashi very closely. David Finlay really stepped up in his first main event spot here. This was a really good match. I mean, I've seen these guys wrestle each other probably about 20 times when they were young boys, going back and forth with each other and against each other. So it was really cool to see them actually bring kind of their full move set to the main event and put on a showcase. And good for Jay White, man. He's really trying to grow into being a champion.
I enjoyed that match, and I enjoyed how they like heated up Finley before they got into that match. Because before that period of time, I was like, Finley a talented dude, but he had no like, what was making him special? Why should he even be in the mix? why should he be in the ring with a switchblade? And then they heated him up, and then they had a really good main event match. And I could actually, and from that point forward, I was like, okay, I could kind of take Finley a bit more seriously as like a potential player in New Japan. Is just Switchblade definitely like what he said at the end of the match with his promo, basically kind of somehow I kind of summed up how I felt about Finley at the end, and it's like Switchblade gets kind of lost in the shuffle at times, and he's not always around, but when he is around, it's always interesting, and I always like when he's starting crap within chaos.
Yeah, he's definitely a shit disturber, man.
Big time instigator.
So our final Road to Dontaku event, we had an IWGP Tag Team title match as we had the champions, Evil and Sonata versus Lance Archer and Davey Boy Smith Jr. Evil and Sonata hit the Magic Killer for 2 as Archer pulls out the ref. Archer then grabs a chair, wedges it in the corner, but gets cut off. Archer gets sent into the chair, and Evil does the baseball bat chair spot on Davey Boy Smith. Darkness falls and gets a 2 count on Davey Boy Smith. Sonata hits a plancha on Archer, and Evil hits Everything is Evil on Davey Boy Smith, and the champions retain the IWGP Tag Team titles. Basically, another great match between these 4 guys, just cementing Evil and Sonata as, definitely deserving of the championship, and moving on to the next step as they finally kind of put the final nail in Killer Elite Squad, at least for this round.
Yep, I really enjoyed that match as well. I don't know. I think I like this match more than I actually like their Wrestle Kingdom match, which is saying something because I was really surprised by the Wrestle Kingdom match, and I was just happy to see Evil Sonata retain and move on, and just to see where they will go, who will challenge them next.
Right. Now, the main event on this particular Road to Dontaku show was Minoru Suzuki versus Naito. Suzuki cuts off a Destino and applies the knee bar. Suzuki pulls him back to the center of the ring, and Naito keeps fighting, but Suzuki reapplies the hold. Suzuki keeps cranking on the hold as he dismantles Naito's knee. Naito grabs at the ref, begging him not to stop it, and finally rolls to the ropes. Suzuki mockingly claps for Naito and then lights up Naito with palm strikes. The sleeper hold follows, and Naito fades to the mat. Naito fights back to his feet and escapes. Naito slaps Suzuki around, and Suzuki cuts him off by kicking him in the knee. Suzuki goes back to the sleeper, but Naito counters out with the brainbuster. Suzuki is busted open, and Naito hits a Destino for the shocking win. This match was born out of Naito basically poking the bear in Minoru Suzuki, and all of these LIJ versus oh man, I just went blank on the faction name. Suzuki Gun matches that we had, and then we got to this match, and I really thought that like Minoru Suzuki was going to cripple this man.
You ever watch something and you try to convince yourself something is good, and you know in your heart it's not good?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about that match right there. It's like it was what it was. The build to it was way better than the actual match itself. And I love both those guys, but it wasn't clicking right there for me. And I kind of like hope they just don't wrestle anymore, or at least like for a long time, because that match ain't clicked for me, man.
All right. Then we have our actual Wrestling Dontaku event. So we start off with a never openweight 6-man title match. We have Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Bad Luck Fale versus Marty Scurll and the Young Bucks. Nick takes out Fale. Tonga Loa fights off Matt as Tama Tonga takes out Nick. The Magic Killer and Splash gets a 2 on Matt. Marty Scurll manages to dump Fale on the outside. Super kicks to Tonga Loa follow. Nick wipes out Fale and Tonga with a dive. More bang for your buck connects on Tongaloa, and we have new champions. Tongaloa, Tamatonga, and Bad Luck Fale present the titles to the new champions without issue.
I like that was like a signifier that Bullet Club is actually fine, and they all took a picture together at the end. Of course, separate without two particular individuals. The main core of everybody's like back on top, like on page with each other, and it was a nice signifier of that, and also celebrating like the anniversary of Bullet Club too. So that was great.
Right.
I didn't think they were going to win that match, but it was cool that they did, and it gave some nice rub for Marty going into the Best of Super Juniors tournament, and also it kind of solidifies Matt and Nick as like heavyweights too, because they wrestled 3 heavyweights and beat them, so they kind of needed that credibility as well.
Right. Good point. We get LIJ versus Suzuki Gun. So that's Takahashi, Bushi, Evil, Sanada, and Naito versus Desperado, Kanemaru, Taichi, Zack Sabre Jr., and Minoru Suzuki. Bushi works over Kanemaru in the ring, and Evil gets the tag. Kanemaru uses the ref as a shield, and Naito runs in, and LIJ runs wild on Kanemaru. Everything is Evil hits, and Kanemaru is done as LIJ gets the win. Then the Young Bucks arrive to challenge Evil and Sanada for the heavyweight tag titles. The Bucks super kick the champions and then bail, and Evil gets on the microphone and accepts their challenge.
That was pretty fast. I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that challenge. Of all the people I was expecting to challenge them, it was not no Young Bucks.
Especially after just winning the title like 20 minutes ago. 6-man titles 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, that too. It's like, I don't know too many times in New Japan history where they allow people to have double champions within the company. So that's the thing I'm keeping. Like, I would have to do some research on that. So that might be a tell on who's going to win.
Right. Our semi-main event for Wrestling Dantaku. Kota Ibushi versus Cody. Cody counters the knee strike into a cradle for 2. Cody counters the knee strike again and crawls to the floor. Ibushi dives over the barricade to wipe Cody out. Back in the ring, Cody hits the crossroads for 2, and then Cody hits the vertebraker and gets the win. This was a good build. The match was really good as well. Cody taking it to the next level, digging deep here. I thought Kota, the way it played out, it looked like Kota Ibushi was building up steam and was going to get the win, but the crossroads cut him off, and then the vertebraker sealed the deal. So another win for Cody.
I like the match, but not quite as much as I like the Wrestle Kingdom match. And I thought it was, well, just talking to you makes me think that beyond the fact that they use this match to help like build momentum for Cody going into Supercard of Honor, which is really weird. That on the New Japan show they're like promoting setting up matches in another company, but hey, they're partners. But that made me just think the fact that by them being 1 versus 1 in singles matches versus each other, makes me think that at some point, maybe in the future, it will be some type of title defense versus each other. I don't know who's going to be a champion or what championship they're going to be hold. I kind of think at some point they're going to see each other again, and it will be for like some type of goal.
Okay. That'll be fun. Put some stakes on it for the rubber match.
Yeah.
The main event of Wrestling Dantaku. Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page. The one-wing angel is countered, but Omega hits a snapdragon suplex. Omega hits the B trigger, and Omega covers and gets a 2 count. Omega hits another V trigger and hits the double underhook pile driver for a 2 count. Page is out on his feet. He hits another V trigger and then the one wing angel, and Kenny Omega picks up the victory over Hangman Page.
It was a really good main event match, and it also showcased how much like Adam continuously improves as a singles wrestler, and he's definitely in the mix for most improved on my list. Like I would have to think about the other people on it, but he's definitely on there in the running for me.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Just watched his involvement in the Best of Super Juniors, the semi-main event, and it was like, man, you know what? Hangman Page is really good now. Like, when did this happen?
Just kept working and went around the world and just kept improving.
Yeah, yeah. Him and Chase Owens, man, they're both like really starting to step up.
I love Chase. I love Chase when he's tagging with Ibushi or Yujiro. I kind of would like to see Chase and Kenny and Ibushi get them never 6-man tag titles at some point, because that would be really fun. That should be very fun and very random.
Now on day 2 of Wrestling Dantaku, this is where we had one of the biggest events to happen, one of the biggest angles in wrestling happened in this one, where we had, again, LIJ versus Suzuki Gun. Naito tags in, working over Kanemaru. Suzuki makes the save, but Sonata runs in as it breaks down. Evil dumps Smith and Archer. Naito dumps Suzuki to the floor and then hits Destino and Kanemaru for the win. As the match is over, LIJ is, of course, they're celebrating. They're doing their, their usual thing. They put all their fists in, and Naito is just soaking it up because it's Fukuoka, and Fukuoka is like LIJ territory #1. Naito and all of LIJ is like super over there. So everybody else is, walks out. Naito's the last one in the ring, so he's going up the ramp and he's, shaking hands with people going out of up the aisle, and then all of a sudden, a guy in the LIJ mask shakes his hands and pulls him over the rail. And the next thing you know, he starts attacking Naito. And he throws him back over the barricade. They brawl back into the ring. And all of a sudden, the guy takes off his mask, and it's Chris Jericho. Jericho lays out Naito with the code breaker. Then he pummels Naito with strikes. Jericho then beats up on the Young Lions. Jericho gets the ring bell, KOs Naito, and busts him wide open. Jericho continues to attack, and then LIJ runs him off. Naito, a true G, refuses to be stretchered out and walks back up the aisle under his own power, but he is a bloody mess. Oh, the attack was something so vicious. I don't know if that was hard way or what, but Naito looked like Dusty Rhodes circa 1976.
Oh boy, deep cut. Like this match and the bill for it, I really feel it has been really, really great. I really feel if they had this match as the main event for the Cow Palace show, the show would have sold out or be close to sold out.
Right.
If they would have gave that match, it would be close to sold out.
But I think under whatever agreement or just out of the respect for Vince, I don't think Jericho would wrestle in America in a company that wasn't WWE.
I think you're right too. But even if he did, Vince always loves people who actually be like, I'm going to do what I want right now. I don't need you. Instead of people that really needs him.
Right. I mean, he has the blessing to go do it from Vince. I just think that him, as far as, the American crowd or whatever, he's going to disrespect that relationship and say, overseas is one thing. In America, Probably not.
Yeah, so that type of thinking kind of like gives you an idea about where they're going with that potentially, and that kind of sucks because I kind of want to. I would like to see Jericho win that title, not just for him to have that title, but to also to get Naito away from that title that he hates. So
Doesn't he
you
hate all the titles though?
no, he hates that title specifically, and you know why he hates that belt. It prevented him from main eventing Wrestle Kingdom in that fan vote. So he hates that Intercontinental belt. That's why he did all that crap to it, because it's a signifier of, it's a symbol of everything that blocked him. So of course he hates that belt. That's why he never wears that belt. So get that belt off him onto someone who really wants it, and let's get him heated up for like Wrestle Kingdom eventually.
All right. For the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, we had Will Ospreay versus Kushida. Ospreay counters Back to the Future and hits the Essex Destroyer. They trade strikes from their knees. Kushida rips off his own shoulder tape, and Ospreay does the same as they light each other up. What did I just do? Ospreay hits repeated kicks. Kushida does the same, and Kushida knocks Ospreay down with a huge right hand. Kushida hesitates and then stomps away at Ospreay. Ospreay flips him the bird, and more stomps by Kushida follow. Kushida pulls Ospreay up top, but Ospreay hits a super cutter. Then he follows that up with the Stormbreaker, and Ospreay retains the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Tama Tonga now arrives. Bone Soldier is here, and he attacks Ospreay, laying him out. Tonga says that Ospreay has been lucky, but not anymore. They have someone new in the club, and reveals Bone Soldier to be none other than Taiji Ishimori. Tonga puts him over huge, and then they too sweet.
It wasn't shocking because sadly I had certain things spoiled for me by the dirt sheets randomly.
Gotta stay away from those sites, man.
I wasn't even on them sites. It just came across my like timeline.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I still enjoyed it and I still liked it because I'm a Noah dude. So it was cool to see him get that spotlight in a bigger company, even though how he left the company was really shady, but he does that.
Yeah, that's his move.
That's his personality. Yeah. So
that's Don Callis about it.
Yeah. I mean, can't get mad at it. That's just who he is as a person. but I'm glad he's there because that just gives more juice to that junior heavyweight division, which is really, really going really good. So
right.
It's dope.
Or what did you think about the Ospreay Kushida match? Just the match itself before the angle.
The match was another excellent match between both of them. I'm trying to think in my mind, is it my favorite Kushida Ospreay match? And
the Super Juniors final was pretty damn good last year.
Yeah, I like that match last year more. But it's like splitting hairs. Like they have a great little feud.
Yeah, they do have a really good feud. I love they're so even and you know they know each other. They have each other's moves down because they've wrestled so many times now. And yeah, you just never know, you know, who's going to come out on top. And that's kind of what I like about these two when they match up. So
true.
Then we move to the main event of the evening, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship match between Okada versus Tanahashi. Okada is going for the record-breaking 13th straight title defense, which would break Tanahashi's old record of 12. We get a drop kick by Okada and then a sling blade by Tanahashi. Tanahashi is up top, but Okada counters the high fly press with a drop kick. We get a rainmaker by Okada that is countered, and Tanahashi hits a rainmaker and gets a 2 count. Tanahashi slaps the shit out of Okada repeatedly and Okada is down. Tanahashi counters another Rainmaker, but Okada hangs on and Tanahashi drops him with another slap. Okada manages to hang on and fires back with the Rainmaker for the win. Post-match, Gedo puts over Okada as unstoppable. Okada then puts over Tanahashi, says that he achieved his record, and says he will focus on being the best champion possible. He's on to the next challenger. He runs down all the guys he beat and teases his next defense at Dominion. Then Okada calls out Kenny Omega. Since they fought to a draw at Dominion last year, they are 1-1-1. Omega arrives, and Okada says that they have to break their tie in a no-time limit match at Dominion. Omega wants best 2 out of 3 falls, and Okada agrees. This was a high level championship match. This might have been actually my favorite Okada versus Tanahashi match, because you can really see Tanahashi really going for it, man, trying to keep him from breaking that record. And yeah, I really loved this match, man. This was so much fun for me.
I think this match will mean more for anybody who watched pretty much all the matches, because it's callbacks in it to other matches in the match. So this match was great. It definitely was great. Was it 5.5 stars? Great. I don't know. But it was definitely great, and it's one of the better matches I've seen this year. I like the symbolism of that. It only took one Rainmaker to put him out. That's like the signifier this feud is over.
Right.
I took your records, and now you cannot withstand my Rainmaker, and I'm on another level, literally, like Guido says.
Yeah, so this was just one of the, Okada just, solidifying himself as, the ultimate champion right now in New Japan. And, he's the new ace. So, you can't fault the man for, all he does is win. And he puts on a hell of a match every time he does it. So congrats to Okada for breaking the record.
Yep, and he's close to breaking Kobashi's overall, days record in Japan.
Right.
He's close.
Just want to let you guys know that this is Caster Strong Style. You can find this on the CSPN. You can find this on the web at cspn.us. We're also available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. So the next big event will be the Best of the Super Juniors. And so we had the blocks announced. And in Block A, we're going to have Tiger Mask, Kanemaru, ACH, Flip Gordon, Yo, Bushi, Will Ospreay, and Taiji Ichimori. In Block B, we have Chris Sabin, Kushida, Sho, Desperado, Takahashi, Marty Scurll, Dragon Lee, and Taguchi. So we'll get into night 1, Best of the Super Juniors. This was a Block A matches, as we had Tiger Mask versus Kanemaru. Kanemaru sets Tiger Mask up top, and he hits the superplex. But Tiger Mask cradles him on the landing, and Tiger Mask picks up the upset victory over Kanemaru. This was a cool way to start the show, start the whole thing off. The past couple of years, Liger and Tiger Mask have been kind of the guys who didn't have a victory until the last night, and they finally picked up one. So it was cool to see Tiger Mask start off this year's tournament with a quick win.
For that exact reason, it really threw me off, because I was like, Tiger Mask won? but it was a good match. I was like, Tiger Mask won. Wow.
Yeah. Next up, we had Super ACH versus Flip Gordon.
Flip.
ACH tries to fire himself up, and he hits a deadlift German. The running knee strike, and then the package DDT follows, and ACH gets the win. For those of y'all who haven't seen Flip Gordon before, he's ridiculously athletic. He's got some really, really cool flippy-do moves. And ACH was right there with him, step for step. ACH is before the injuries started taking too much of an effect on him, man. He was having a really good tournament.
Yeah, it it was it was pretty good. And I like the little interlocking storyline those two had with each other because even if it was like a work, it was entertaining work because it felt like ACH had literal heat with like Flip supposedly because he took his spot or something.
Next up in the A block, we had Bushi versus my guy Yo. Yo fires up with the super kick. Bushi cuts him off and hits a destroyer for a near fall. Bushi sets, but Yo counters the code breaker into a cradle, and Yo gets the win. Yo, personally, I know everybody they have these eyes for Show, and they think that Show is the Shawn Michaels of the group. But I really like Yo. He's my dude, and to see him get this win over Bushi really fired me up for his run in Best of the Super Juniors.
I was like, I didn't think he was going to beat Bushi again, but you pinned the tag team champion. I mean, well, they're not the tag team champion, but just pinning them is pretty. Pinning the former like IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion is pretty cool way to start the tournament. So I like Yo.
Right.
I like Yo than a lot more people like Yo, but it's all right to be different and be on your own block and like what you like.
Right. Will Ospreay versus Taiji Ishimori was the main event for the Block A matches. In night one, Ospreay fires away with kicks, but the OsCutter is countered into the Bloody Cross, and Taiji Ishimori gets the upset win over Will Ospreay. So, of course, we all know how New Japan works. You beat the champion in any type of setting or tournament, then, eventually you'll get a championship match with that champion. So, Will Ospreay and Taiji Ishimori, depending on what happens a little bit later on this week, may be facing each other again, but this time for the title.
Boo! Boo! Don't want that. But I mean, I do want that, but I don't want that because I have my reasons, and you know how I have my reasons for
yes, I do.
But yeah, this match was really cool, and it was a nice way to like spotlight Ishimori in New Japan. And also, they didn't give away everything where they could hold it for another match in a title match, like you said. So it was really good booking.
And a nice way to establish Ishimori as a player. Get him a win, build him up really quick. Get people's eyes on him. I'm like, okay, this dude is, he's got something.
I definitely see how people have said that he has been studying like AJ's run in New Japan or something. And I definitely see some of the stuff that AJ was doing in that company in the pattern of what some of the stuff Ishimori was doing. So that's a smart guy to like pattern if you're going to do that.
Yeah. Night 2, we get the B block matches as we get Dragon Lee versus Show. Lee knocks Show into the turnbuckle and gets him into the Trio Woe and hits a double stomp for a great near fall. They trade knee strikes and Lee counters into a dump suplex, and Dragon Lee gets the win over Show. This was a lot of people's favorite match of the first two nights. They were super fast, super athletic.
Yeah. It was like, wow, you really are the Shawn Michaels of his team. Like, wow, Show is about to run this division someday.
Yeah, great showcase. Dragon Lee is one of my favorite outside of New Japan guys that they bring in. I really enjoy watching him work. Him and Takahashi are going to put themselves in a wheelchair for my entertainment. And I feel kind of guilty for that. But, as long as they're still walking and able, give it to me as many times as you can.
Like Dragon Lee is definitely one of the better wrestlers in the world, and it's amazing how good he is at how young he is. It's ridiculous. But they start young in other countries, but still, this guy, he's just only turned 23. He's just crazy.
Right. We had Taguchi versus El Desperado. Taguchi fights off the low blow and gets the cradle for 2. The enziguri follows. Desperado hits a low blow and he gets the cradle for the win. So Desperado on those Yano tactics. Been studying Yano's playbook.
Heal life.
Unfortunately, I know you like the serious Taguchi. We did not get that here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Pervert Taguchi. It is what it is.
Our next match featured Kushida versus Chris Sabin. Kushida counters the cradle shock and dumps Sabin to the floor. Kushida heads up top and Sabin gets back in and hits the Super German. The cradle shot gets a 2 count, but then all hell Sabin finishes it off and Chris Sabin gets a win in his first run in the Best of the Super Juniors.
I did not see that coming. I just had Sabin as the guy pinned to take eat a bunch of pinfalls in the tournament. And granted, he's not the person that he once was, and nobody's going to be the person they once were after being in the business for 18 years and having neck surgery. So, but he was really good at the pace that he was working. Like that pace he was working in New Japan would be probably fast in WWE, but for people who are used to a different type of pace and tempo, I can understand how some people didn't really dig that, but I'm fine with that match and I don't have any issue with it. It's funny that you could just look at that match as the Alex Shelley Invitational match. Alex Shelley Invitational, 2 of his best tag team partners facing each other.
Right.
You can't even make that up.
The main event of night 2 was the villain, Marty Scurll, versus the ticking time bomb, Takahashi. Takahashi hits a Hurricane Rana and transitions into the triangle choke. Marty fights, power bombs Takahashi, but Takahashi hangs on, and Marty fades out, and the match is stopped.
New finisher.
Yeah, Hiromu introducing something new.
I like that. You got to have yourself a submission finish. You got to have yourself a just move that you just put people away. I love that. I love when people have multiple finishers.
Oh yeah, this was a really good match too, man. Marty Scurll's really got a lot of he's actually turning face. Crowds are really into him.
They love him. He's over, and he knows he's over. So sometimes he
plays it up.
Plays the greatest hits.
yeah, he does.
He's not silly like Young Will.
So, oh, really?
You know we'll be doing too much sometimes.
Well, the one thing I can say about this is I don't think he took an apron bump in this tournament, so he's improved in that part of his silliness.
And he's still selling his injury from Sakura Genesis. I give him props for that. He's still selling that neck injury. I give him props for that. I just need him to chill out with all the screaming like tennis players.
Oh yeah, and the naming of the moves that he's about to hit too. He screams that out a lot.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that too much. Because if you name your move before you do it, your opponent should
counter.
Yeah, counter. I think Sabin pointed that out in commentary, and I was like, "You're right."
So we're gonna fast forward to the last 2 nights. Night 13 was the last night of the block action. So this whole card was nothing but Best of Super Junior matches. So we get ACH versus Tiger Mask. ACH comes out wearing a Tiger Mask because, Tiger Mask is like his greatest influence on him. So this is kind of like an honor for ACH to even wrestle this match. Tiger Mask attacks with kicks and takes ACH up top. ACH tries to fight him off. They trade strikes, and Tiger Mask hits the butterfly superplex for a near fall. ACH counters the Tiger suplex into a cradle, and ACH gets the win.
Very good opening match.
Yeah, very emotional match for ACH. Afterwards, he was, just doing, just showing out the utmost respect for Tiger Mask. So, yeah, good opener.
Yeah, it was. It was good. It was good. He got that win to close out his run in the tournament.
Right.
Props to ACH. You should be full time somewhere.
MLW Fusion. Check him out on BN Sports. He's with them. So I saw him wrestle. I want to say he was wrestling. It wasn't Matt Riddle because he wrestles barefooted. Is the other MMA guy that's really good. That's only been. Yeah, there you go. That's exactly who it was.
Drop on YouTube, I believe, on their channel too, so people can watch it there.
Yeah, check them out, man. They got some good stuff going on over there at MLW. Bushi versus Kanemaru. The Whiskey Mist gets blocked by Bushi, and Bushi spits his own mist at Kanemaru and gets the backslide for a 2 count. Bushi then goes to the ropes, but the MX is blocked by the ref. The Whiskey Mist hits this time, and the Deep Impact finishes it as Kanemaru gets the win. So, battle of the guys who like to blind you, and Kanemaru got the last laugh on this one.
Yep, he definitely did. I didn't think I was trying to figure out how he was able to hold that stuff in his mouth for that period of time, even after taking an attack. Crafty veteran.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've heard stories of guys like Tully Blanchard holding their their gimmick in their mouth, their blade. It's like, really?
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Our next match was Taguchi versus Chris Sabin. The ankle lock is applied by Taguchi. Sabin counters into a cradle for 2, but Taguchi keeps the hold. Sabin tries to escape, but Taguchi hits the Dodon for a near fall and right back to the ankle lock, and Chris Sabin has to tap. So good for Taguchi to get his second win of the tournament here. A good match, not, pretty straight up, probably the most serious Taguchi was in the whole thing here.
It was, and I liked how Sabin showed the picture of them from the past when they were all younger in their tag teams, like Motor City Machine Guns versus Apollo 55, and I was like, dang, you guys, some of y'all guys are aged, and some of y'all guys still not aging, and I was like, that's pretty impressive.
Next up,
ain't taking no months for Father Time. No.
That's right. Next up, we have Dragon Lee versus Desperado. Desperado hit the big spine buster for 2. The stretch muffler follows, but Lee makes the ropes. Desperado hits Guitarra del Angel for 2. Lee fights back and gets a sleeper into a superplex. Desperado counters into a cradle, and that gets a 2 count. A low blow by Desperado, and Desperado cradles Dragon Lee for the win. So again,
that match was awesome.
Yeah, this was a good match. Again, another showcase for El Despy getting better.
Awesome. I like how he played off when he lost his mask.
Yeah. Like Dragon Lee took it a little too far. I don't think he was supposed to rip the damn thing off. But that's what happened.
I like how when he ripped his mask, like Dragon Lee's mask off at the end, they covered it up and then just be like, what the hell? Why did they do that for me?
Right. Like Desperado literally had to flip his hair in front of his face and kind of tie his hair into his mask to keep us from seeing his face, revealing his identity. So very smart, kind of in the moment type thinking by Desperado there.
I'm definitely going to run back that match. Definitely going to run that match.
Hamna, he's back. He walks out to the ring, gets in the ring, and then he announces that he's going to come back to the ring on June 23rd. Now, for those of you who don't know, it was Gedo, right? Not Jado, right?
It was Jado.
Oh, okay. It was Jado. Gave Hamna a draping DDT, the move we've seen Randy Orton do hundreds of times in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Well, due to Hamna jumping off of the top rope with a headbutt for at least for the 4 years that I've been watching New Japan, and Lord knows how many years before that, this particular draping DDT caused Hamna to basically be a quadriplegic. They had to stretch him out of the ring for a couple of months. He was basically paralyzed, and then slowly but surely things started to come around for him, and so now apparently he's coming back.
It's crazy. It's a miracle. He's really lucky because not a lot of people come back from that type of stuff. So
Right, like Shibata headbutts Okada and bleeds, and it's like, that looked kind of vicious, but he might have a concussion, but he should be okay. And all of a sudden he's like can't come back at all from a headbutt, and then this dude gets paralyzed, literally paralyzed, and he's gonna come back. It's just crazy how life works, man.
it's really crazy. With Shibata, we should have known something was up when he was stumbling in the back.
Right.
Because yeah, it's one thing to sell something, but the way he was stumbling, that should have been a tell. Something he was really messed up.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, it was cool seeing Shibata in the back, like marking out for like Desperado versus Dragon Lee. So we're all fans of this stuff, regardless of where we are in life.
Yeah. Man, Shibata was my guy, so I really miss him not being a part of this because he's so ready to get the push.
Be in the main event, be that guy.
Right.
So if Shibata was around, he could be the guy to come and be like,
he could be the one to win the title from Okada and stop the reign.
Be the guy.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely a big loss, but good luck to Hamna. Hopefully he changes his style a little bit, and he continue to have a healthy career.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got Will Ospreay versus Flip Gordon. This is probably one of the matches of the tournament, the whole tournament right here. Ospreay hits the super kick and then the Essex Destroyer, but Gordon kicks out. Ospreay takes Gordon up top. Ospreay looks for the Stormbreaker, but Gordon fights him off and they trade strikes up top. Ospreay then hits the OsCutter as Flip Gordon was about to springboard and try to do like a springboard move. All of a sudden, Ospreay just catches him with the OsCutter out of midair. He follows that up with the Stormbreaker, and Will Ospreay gets the hard-fought victory.
Yeah, that was something, man. that was really something. I was like, I thought it would have been a good match, and it would turn out to be one of the better matches of the tournament. So, props to Flip stepping up to Ospreay's level, because most people probably wouldn't put Flip on no Ospreay level, but he managed to hang with them and hold his own in that match. That's what's up.
Yeah, that was a fun match. Next up, we get Taiji Ishimori versus Yo. If Ishimori wins, he wins the block and advances to the finals. Ishimori gets Yo up for the Bloody Cross, but Yo counters into a backslide for 2. Ishimori counters the Okada roll into a crossface. Yo fights with all he has left, but Ishimori rolls Yo back to the center of the ring, and Yo has to tap out. So Taiji Ishimori is our first member of the Best of Super Juniors finals as he wins his block.
I felt that was the best match. Like, most of us watching the tournament or like we're waiting for Yo to have that like just really awesome match.
Mm-hmm.
Cause Sho kept having so many awesome matches, and you made you start looking at Yo funny. But Yo was having a good tournament. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad at the end he had that awesome match to close out his run in the tournament. So major props to Yo, and Ospreay being outside the ring cheering on his Chaos teammate to help him get to the finals was funny. But it was awesome to see Ospreay be so blown when he when Ishimori won made me really happy because I was like, can we get some new people in that finals? This junior heavyweight division is deep. Y'all can take a back seat for this like a year. So it was really cool to see Ishimori like win the block and move on to the finals.
Next up, we have Marty Scurll versus Show. Scurll looks for the chicken wing, then Scurll transitions to elbows, and Show is fading. Scurll now gets the chicken wing, Show fires up and escapes and hits the shock arrow, and Scurll is done, as Show gets the surprise victory. The shock arrow is a version of the package pile driver, for those who haven't seen Show's finishing move.
Mm-hmm. I like how he sold like the injuries to his hands, and it was harder for him to be able to pull off the move.
Mm-hmm. Attention to detail.
I wasn't really feeling the match early, but then it won me over mid and late, and I'm cool with that. I don't have to love something early as long as you can get me back, engage me back in the match, and bring it home, brother.
And our final match of the night, Kushida versus the ticking time bomb, Takahashi. The winner of this match moves on to the finals to face Taiji Ishimori. Takahashi hits a super kick into the triangle choke. Kushida keeps fighting, rolling, and now tries to power Takahashi up. Kushida fades and the ref checks on him, but Kushida is still alive. Kushida manages to fight and make the ropes. Takahashi kills Kushida with the pile driver. Takahashi locks back on the triangle choke again, and Kushida fades and Kushida taps out. And Takahashi will face Taiji Ishimori in the finals.
I like the story of Kushida and Takahashi and how having them wrestle each other has helped elevate actually Hiromu. But it's getting to the point like he really has Kushida's number, dude.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He really has his number. People really gotta just go look at the win-loss record because Takahashi putting this on.
Ever since that one match where Kushida beat him in like 30 seconds. Yeah.
You mean Takahashi when he beat him in 30 seconds?
Yeah. Ever since he beat Kushida in 30 seconds, he's owned him.
He's pretty. Yeah, he has. He has like it's just a matter of fact. It is what it is. But Kushida's the main man, so it don't matter.
Right. All right. So we go into the final night of Best of the Super Juniors. We get a 8-man tag team match featuring LIJ, Bushi, Evil, Sanada, and Naito versus ACH, Dragon Lee, Taguchi, and Kushida. Sanada and Evil work double teams on ACH. It breaks down. Sanada gets the skull in on ACH, but ACH gets a cradle for a 2 count. ACH lays in chops, but Sanada gets the skull in again, and ACH taps. After the match, Chris Jericho, he's up on the big screen in a pre-tape promo. Jericho claims that he was the main event at Wrestle Kingdom 12, the real main event, not Naito versus Okada. Naito has to live with the fact that he was booted from another main event. Jericho is going after him because Naito is the best. Jericho promises to take him to the promised land and make him a real star. Jericho says, you shouldn't be losing to Okada. You should be IWGP Heavyweight Champion, but you're not. So that's where I come in. I'm going to help you get there, you fucking moron. You don't understand. Chris Jericho is going to take you to the promised land. At Dominion, after Jericho wins, Naito will finally realize who Jericho really is. Naito made the mistake of pissing Jericho off, and he will pay at Dominion. See you at Dominion, fuckface. Naito, of course, was taking a nap in the ring during all this. He says Jericho talked too long and says to shorten things up. He says if Jericho is such a star, then why is he taking his own selfie videos?
Clap Black is strong.
Again, another great layer to the build. Did you see the other promo about the turtle?
kind of. I think I might have. Yeah,
Uh,
I think I did.
where Jericho is just like dropping F-bomb every like eighth word.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then Naito got on her. It's like, man, you this ain't the spot, time, or place for this. This is the time for the Super Juniors. I'm really disappointed whoever in the back played that. And he was taking a nap during that thing too. He was
Right.
like Naito is really funny, and I like how ACH was dancing to his thing. And
Yeah.
then ACH, he let ACH do it again and he kicked him in the back.
He played the hell out of that, man.
He's like, oh, you feeling yourself, oh, ACH? Go ahead, boy, do it again. Do it again.
But you know what? That was like a totally spontaneous spot, because if you watch when Sonata comes out and he sees ACH dancing, he makes a face like, what's he doing?
What the fuck?
And then I guess by the time, since Naito always comes out last, I guess he saw the way the crowd was reacting. And so when he got up on the ring apron, he did the little eye thing looking at ACH do the dance. So yeah, that was cool.
Oh man, wrestling can be fun.
It
It's
can
fun.
be. And that was kind of like just spontaneous comedy. I think they just made that up on the spot.
Totally. Like I've seen people around the hood doing like that type of dance, especially like girls doing that dance too. So that kind of made me laugh too.
We got our semi-main event as we had a tag team match consisting of Will Ospreay and Okada versus Chase Owens and Kota Ibushi. Kota Ibushi hits the big moonsault on the Ospreay on the floor. Owens works over Okada and teases the package pile driver, but Okada escapes and hits the drop kick. Okada hits a B trigger and then the Rainmaker on Chase Owens to get the win. So Okada out here trolling Kenny with the B trigger. And I don't know why it hasn't happened yet, but please, as quick as possible, can we get Will Ospreay versus Kota Ibushi?
Kota Ibushi ain't no junior heavyweight though, dude.
I know. We can get the title off Will Ospreay. They don't have to, Will Ospreay wrestled for the heavyweight championship. He doesn't have to necessarily stay in the junior ranks. He could challenge them just on a one-off.
That would be interesting. But yeah.
I thought that this was really fun. It was cool to see Okada. Hadn't seen him at all really during this Best of the Super Juniors run. So, and then, he comes out and trolls Kenny with the V trigger. So just another layer building up to Dominion.
Yeah. He was enjoying catching fish in wrestling.
Right. You see the contrasting styles here. We got Kenny Omega like working out, working on his endurance, his cardio. He's like killing himself in the gym. And then you see Okada out here just like fishing, catching red snapper.
What else that kind of makes me think of like a Star Wars meme of Rey, Poe, and Finn. And it's in the meme, it's Finn on one end working out, and on the other end, it's Rey working out, and in the middle, it's Poe just eating food.
That kind of reminds me of back in World Class, like kind of my infant days of watching wrestling. Kerry Von Erich and Ric Flair were going to wrestle for the heavyweight title, and this was basically the whole angle that led up to the Freebirds and Von Erich's whole rivalry or whatever. But the vignettes, of course, they show Kerry Von Erich, man, he's in the gym, he's pumping iron, he's running, he's got his shirt off, just looking like the Greek god that he was back in his, very early days of wrestling. Contrast that, they show Ric Flair on like some street sidewalk cafe with like 4 women in this button-down suit having lunch. Like, yeah, I'll be in Dallas in like 2 weeks or whatever to defend my title against Kerry Von Erich. Do it looks like I'm worried about Kerry Von Erich? No, not really. Ladies, order whatever you like.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I ain't got no worries.
Yeah. Yeah, so that kind of is what that Kenny Omega Okada thing coming down the internet last week reminded me of like, damn, this dude out here just the champion, just living his best life, having as much fun as possible. Kenny Omega working his ass off.
And nothing wrong with that.
So we get to our main event, the best of the Super Junior finals. Takahashi, the ticking time bomb, versus Bone Soldier Taiji Ishimori. Ishimori heads up top, and the 450 splash eats the knees. A hurricanrana by Takahashi, instead of triangle choke. Ishimori escapes, and Takahashi kills Ishimori with the pile driver. Back to the triangle choke by Takahashi. Ishimori keeps fighting, but he's fading and just barely makes the ropes. Takahashi drags him back up. Takahashi hits the Blu-ray and the time bomb, and Takahashi is your winner. He is your 2018 Best of the Super Juniors champion, the 25th edition. So Takahashi gets the trophy and he celebrates. Takahashi says he's taking this win all the way to the title, and then Will Ospreay arrives. Ospreay congratulates Takahashi and says everyone is proud of him, but that means nothing because Ospreay says he's the best, and having the belt proves it. Ospreay knows that he's beaten Takahashi twice, and he will do it again. Ospreay will prove he's the best in the world, and he will leave with his title.
That's pretty ruthless. As far as the match was awesome, and I'm glad we got that final. 2 new people in the final, fresh stuff, fresh match. Hope we see it again someday. And I'm going to run that match back a couple of times this year, probably. So
yeah, that match was 35 minutes of pure pace.
Yep. It was awesome. It's just at the end, it's just like it was no way that Hiromu was not going to be denied. This was his time.
Right. And I mean, like I said, Hiromu is going to be in a fucking wheelchair when it's all said and done. But golly, until he is, this man just puts his body through so much to entertain me. And I'm so appreciative for it.
Definitely appreciating, and I'm going to enjoy it while we have it.
Right.
Enjoy it while we have it, man.
So our final thing on the agenda tonight on this episode is preview of Dominion. It's going to take place Saturday. So about 3:00 in the morning, I think, our time is when this is going to actually start. So, prepare your evening accordingly, set your alarms accordingly. Please use the hashtag Cast of Strong Style when you live tweet and share your comments about the Dominion card. So we're going to start off with an IWGP Junior Tag Team title match. Desperado and Kanemaru versus Roppongi 3K, Show and Yo. So Anwar, we'll play a game that we usually save for the WrestleCast, but we'll play it here on Cast of Strong Style. Who you got?
Picking New Japan matches is hard. That's why I don't do it. Because I kind of think they're going to capitalize on all the momentum Show and Yo have done in the tournament, and they're going to give them a win. But do I necessarily want to see that? I don't know if I really want to see that. I wouldn't probably see Despy and Kanemaru do hood rag crap for a bit longer. So, I'm gonna go with Show and Yo, but I'm really secretly in my heart rooting for those 2 little rascals, Despy and Kanemaru.
All right. We got the tag team of Juice Robinson and David Finlay versus Jay White and Yoshihashi. I won't make you pick that one.
Thank God.
Here's a match that should be a lot of fun. I haven't seen my man in a while, so I'll be tuning into this one very closely. Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Yano and Ishii. Just give me your thoughts of this matchup. You don't necessarily have to pick a winner here.
Maybe they set up for another title match between Ishii and Zach for the Red Pro title. I don't know. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know about that, but that's a possibility. Or this, like whoever wins this, maybe could challenge for the tag titles next, the IWGP tag titles, because I believe Suzuki and Zach are still Red Pro Tag champions, so they could do that.
Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. on the same team doing like the same moves to like both sides of your body.
Mm-hmm.
I, I don't know how anybody would survive that.
Yeah, I was thinking that if she wasn't in the like WWE, I was like totally could see Baszler as being like a student of Suzuki stretching people because she has that mean fucking streak too. So Zach and Minoru are fun together. I'm going to enjoy it while I can, because eventually it's going to be Saber Gun.
Right. This is going to be a super fun match. We're going to have Rey Mysterio Jr. making his New Japan Pro Wrestling debut on teams with Jushin Thunder Liger and the Ace Tanahashi versus the villain Marty Scurll, Cody, and Hangman Adam Page. This match was born because uh, Adam Page and Marty Scurll basically beat down Tanahashi after their match, the Best of Super Juniors finals. Nobody was coming out to make the save, and Jushin Thunder Liger was on commentary. He ran Marty Scurll off. Marty Scurll was talking big shit on the floor, talking about he wants all the legends. He wants Liger. He wants Rey Mysterio. You know, Tanahashi can throw him in there too. It doesn't matter. He'll take on all comers. And so, you know, Liger proposed a three-way. It didn't happen, but this is the match that we got out of that. So, and I've never ever seen Jushin Thunder Liger without his shirt off before. Oh my god, that man is ripped.
Yeah, it surprised me too.
He's like 50 something years old.
I think he's 53.
Yeah.
53, yeah.
Holy smokes.
Liger is a freak of nature. It's the reason American Dragon wanted to be like him, wanted his career to be like that. That would be a good retirement match. We'll see.
Yeah, he still hasn't signed his contract.
He hasn't signed his contract, and he has ties to a lot of different countries. So we'll see. But his wife still works for that company. So
right. We have our IWGP Junior Heavyweight title match, as we have the champion Will Ospreay versus the winner of the Best of the Super Juniors tournament, the Ticking Time Bomb, Takahashi. So, what do you see playing out in this match, Anwar?
I think Will's going to retain.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to get Bone Soldier versus. He's going to get that match versus Ospreay, and it'll probably be at the G1 finals, or maybe they'll have that at the Cow Palace. Who knows? So
yeah, well, they've got Kiza Road coming up next. That's like the next kind of show in between G1 and the and Dominion. So I don't know what the main event for that one's going to be. So they may try to make that the main event for that show.
They might. We'll see. Because I think I want Hiromu to win, but I just kind of see how they set it up that it's going to have to be Ospreay that wins.
Okay. We get a never open weight title match, as we're going to have a three-way between Goto, everybody's favorite Taichi, and Michael Elgin.
Ain't my favorite.
I mean, I think he's. Who do you dislike more, Michael Elgin or Taichi?
I mean, come on, for political reasons, everybody dislikes Elgin, bro.
So that's what I'm saying. He's your he should be your favorite. Taichi. He's growing on me. He's got the new outfit, got the gold on, then the Best of Super Juniors.
Woke wrestling is not feeling Mr. Elgin. woke Twitter,
And
woke wrestling Twitter.
who would have thought that Enzo Amore would actually come out as less of a sleaze than Mike Elgin 6 months ago?
Yeah, you're right. I've had to think about that for a second. It's like Enzo's a real sleaze bag, but Mike Elgin is. Yeah. Where can we go with that? We can't go nowhere but the bottom. So let's just move on. Like, I don't see Elgin winning because he still has the stink on him. And maybe Taichi could pull it off.
Come on around. Come around. Come on and see the light.
He might be able to pull it off. I don't know. He might be able to pull it off. All right. I guess maybe me thinking about going with Taichi is that I learned that he's actually Kawada's student. Kawada's one of my favorite wrestlers. So there you go. Let's go with Taichi to hell with it.
All right, there we go. See, power of persuasion. IWGP Tag Team Title Match: Evil and Sonata versus the Young Bucks.
Too sweet. Too sweet.
This is going to be a hell of a match. Oh man, and the Young Bucks haven't been in Japan for about a month and a half, so they're going to be refreshed and ready to go. Yeah, this is going to be real good.
Fire. It could be a. We might get a 4.5 star like level tag match. It's going to be fun though.
Oh, especially if Matt is selling that back still.
You sell that back since Wrestle Kingdom, man. God, he's even worse than Ospreay.
As somebody who's going through some issues with the bad back and has been dealing with it since like Easter Sunday, that's not pretty far-fetched, man.
Bad backs, I fear that.
It's nothing nice, man. It's nothing nice. IWGP Intercontinental Title Match: Naito versus Chris Jericho.
See, we had a conversation earlier, and based on what you're saying, like, but this is one of those matches that's really hard to pick. I kind of think maybe Jericho wins it. I don't. Yeah, I'll go with Jericho begrudgingly.
All right.
I'll go Jericho begrudgingly.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but I just know somebody gonna bleed. Because this is gonna be like I know it's a title match, but this is gonna be like a grudge match.
There will be blood. I just hope, like, after all this build, it's just not a repeat of what happened with Suzuki. Because I don't.
Oh no! I don't. No. Because here's the deal, man. Chris Jericho is like the best rep. Like Naito's great, Kenny Omega's great, but Chris Jericho's the best wrestler they've ever wrestled against. So he's gonna elevate them to get them to his level. Nobody thought that he would be able to hang with Omega, but he made Kenny wrestle his match, and they had a hell of a match.
They did.
So
I'm over the best.
Yeah, I don't have any doubts that this is going to be really good. Then the main event of the evening. Is it possible that we could get a 7-star match? IWGP title match. No time limit. Best 2 out of 3 falls. The champion, Okada, versus Kenny Omega.
Man.
First of all, how long do you think it's going to go?
It's going to be the length of like a popcorn summer movie. So it'd probably be like 80 minutes.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be 90 minutes.
It might be 90 minutes. I think it might be that too, but I just said 80 minutes because do I really want to watch a 90-minute wrestling match?
Hey man, apparently Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat used to pull them off back in the 70s.
we're gonna see if they can pull it off on Saturday. Because
Man,
with the
this is the
format, they should be able to pull it off too.
right. This is the biggest. This card is huge,
Ridiculous.
huge.
It's ridiculous with the quality, even with the throwaway matches. You could probably
Right,
get some type of entertainment out of them.
right. Like this is just as big to me as a Wrestle Kingdom card. I mean, we talk not as many matches, but when you talk about the people involved and the quality of the matches, this thing is gonna be fantastic. It might be 6 hours, but it's gonna be fantastic.
The difference between the length of this and Wrestle Kingdom versus a WrestleMania or SummerSlam is like you really feel the time where in the other product, whereas when you're really engaged in New Japan, you really don't notice the time that much.
Right,
It's
right.
you're it's you're having fun.
That's
So
for sure.
yeah. Dominion. Like I look forward to Dominion. I look forward to me. I kind of look forward to Dominion like how I look forward to Wrestle Kingdom now because I know I'm probably gonna get a really stacked card. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
my favorite like events as far as I look forward to New Japan yearly are Wrestle Kingdom, Dominion, of course New Japan Cup, but that's like a tournament. Super
Right.
like the best Super Juniors, of course that's a tournament. But like G1 like just one event, G1 Climax Finals, Dominion, Wrestle Kingdom, and that's about it. Maybe sometimes Power Struggle, sometimes Power Struggle, not always. Sometimes.
Yeah, Power Struggle is kind of hit or miss because it's near the end of the year and everybody's
Mhm.
getting ready for get ready for the start of the January 4th show. So yeah, Power Struggle kind of gets it's hit or miss sometimes. And then World Tag League finishes out the year. So
I didn't watch no World Tag League last year. I might go watch that just for fun, some point.
let's see. I think that's where Evil and Sonata actually teamed up and got the chemistry to become the champion. So yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yes, Dominion this Saturday, New Japan World streaming. We will be tweeting about it. I don't know about live at 3 in the morning, but you may catch me at like 5:30 tweeting about the main event. And then I'll go back and watch it from there. But again, use the hashtag cast of strong style. Anytime you watch New Japan and want to tweet about it and share your commentary with color, use that hashtag, and everybody who's underneath that hashtag will retweet and comment, and you'll be a part of the community. So please check out Dominion this Saturday. It's going to be so good, so good. So at this point, Mr. Anwar Starwin, I'll open it up to you for your thank yous and shout outs.
I would like to thank me for being amazing and awesome. Not just playing. I like to thank everybody who listens and who enjoys this podcast and actually loves like New Japan. I appreciate y'all. I like communicating with you when I can. And props to Don for inviting me in his house yet again.
Thank you for being able to join me, man. I'll give a big shout out to Anwar for sitting in. Give a big shout out to Moto. Give a big get well soon to Moto's mom. Hopefully everything works out for her. Give a big shout out to all the New Japan fans, all the new followers of the hashtag who just found out about the hashtag recently. However you consume New Japan through Access or New Japan World, please follow the Twitter account Cast Strong Style without the of, and interact with us every time there's a New Japan event. I don't watch everything per se live, but I do try to watch it that day. So at some point you'll see my tweets. So please check out our website, cspn.us. Please support our sponsors. Click on the menu tab. Go down to the tab that says keep our podcast free. Support any of our many sponsors there, from Amazon to Blue Apron to Busted Tees to Funko Pop. We've got something there for everybody. So please support our sponsors and help keep the podcast on CSPN free each and every week. And on that note, for my special guest, Anwar Starwin, I'm Don Delarente, and this has been episode 18 of Cast of Strong Style.